Research is proving that about 92% of all people who set New Year's resolution eventually never see the realization of their goals. And out of the 92%, 43% of those people eventually give up just a month into the new year. And so in this video, we'll be sharing the things that you need to do in order to make sure that you set the right goals. And then more importantly, you find the real motivation and of course the self-discipline to steer yourself towards the attainment of your goals. And so if you're new here, my name is Nana. I hold a master's degree in business finance. And on this channel, we discuss everything personal finance and personal development. And so without further ado, we'll just move to the first point of goal setting, and that is to have and then write down your goal. So according to Napoleon Hill, one of the key reasons why people tend to fail when it comes to goal setting is simply because they set so many goals at the same time. And so what you can do is to identify your definite chief aim. And the easiest way to do that is to list the couple of goals that you really want to set out to achieve down, and then ask yourself the simple question: which of these goals would bring the best of value into my life? If you're able to identify that goal, then that becomes your definite chief aim. And so try as much as possible and then prioritize that goal at all costs. Now, the easiest way for you to actually spell out these goals and then make it easier for you to actually attain is to break them down into what is popularly known as setting the SMART goals. So that goal should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be attainable, it should be relevant, and then more importantly, time bound. So one of the key reasons why you set these goals is to make it much more easier for you to break them down into actionable steps. And for example, if you really want to set a SMART goal when it comes to savings, the easiest way you can go about it is to ask yourself, how much do I actually make at the end of the month, and then how much do I spend? And then based on that, you can actually bring out the lump sum that you want to save at the end of the year. And so for example, if you want to save £4,800 at the end of the year, then ask yourself the simple question: how much can I actually save on a weekly basis in order to ensure that at the end of the 12-month period, I have £4,800 saved? And so the easiest way to actually go about it is to save anywhere between 80 and £100 every single week. With that done, you've actually gone on to make that goal much more specific. You've made it measurable, you've made it attainable, you've made it relevant, and then more importantly, time bound. This brings us to the second stage of your goal setting, and that is to reverse engineer your goal. So there are two things that I recommend here. One, try as much as possible and then break your goal down into tiny actionable steps. This is what James Clear actually goes on to prescribe, because he believes in the law of the aggregation of marginal gains, and that if you're to constantly or consistently contribute in a minute way towards the attainment of your goals over a long period of time, he believes that you actually increase the chances of actually hitting that goal by 42%. So for example, if you have the goal of losing weight at the end of the year, then it goes on to prescribe that you sit down and then ask yourself the simple question: what can I do on a daily basis in order to ensure that I lose at least 20 kilos at the end of the year? So breaking that goal down into these tiny actionable steps, according to his book, Atomic Habit, would increase your chances of achieving that goal by 42%. And this brings us to the second point of reverse engineering your goal, and that is to set identity-based goals as opposed to, generic goals. So for example, a generic goal in this case can mean someone going on to say that, oh, this year I'll start a YouTube channel. And then a specific goal or an identity-based goal will go on to say that I am a YouTuber, and for this matter, I would actually go on to shoot, record, edit, and then post 100 videos this year, like I set out to do at the beginning of this year. And so this is currently my 59th video. And so I see myself as a YouTuber, which actually ensures that I actually go on to ensure the discipline and the motivation required for me to record the videos, edit them, and then subsequently post them on YouTube. If you go in there with the identity that, okay, I am a saver, or I'm not going to smoke anymore, I'm not a smoker, that actually increases your chances of actually becoming successful when it comes to goal setting. This brings us to the third point when it comes to goal setting, and that is to set systems and not goals. So one of the key reasons why people fail in life, according to Stephen Covey and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, is that people tend to focus on the production and not the production capability. So in this case, the production would mean the goal that you want to achieve and not the systems or the things that you need to put in place in order to reach that goal. So the best way to actually do this is to focus on the things that you need to do or the systems that you need to adopt in order to reach that goal. And the easiest way you can do that is to, one, try as much as possible and have accountability partners. And so in my case, I actually set out at the beginning of this year to record and then post 100 videos. My accountability partner is my wife. All the time, she's always asking, when are you shooting? When are you editing? Oh, I saw a notification about one of your videos going live. All those things actually ensure that I have the right motivation and I have someone actually looking over my shoulders to ensure that I actually consistently post the video on YouTube in accordance with the goal that I set out at the beginning of this year to achieve. Secondly, what you can do is to have a habit tracker. And so currently, this is my 59th video. And so I have a habit tracker here that I use every single day. And this is it. I check out the box every single day when I shoot and then post a video on YouTube. And that helps me because it gives me heads up as to where I am currently and then how many videos are left before the end of the year. So currently, this is my 59th, which means there are 41 videos more for me to hit my goal of going on to shoot, edit, and then posting 100 videos at the end of the year. This brings us to the fourth stage of goal setting, and that is to eliminate friction and then boost your environment. A conducive environment would actually ensure that you have the right motivation and, of course, the self-discipline to avoid stress and then subsequently ensure that you get things done. So one of the easiest ways that you can actually do this is to increase friction associated with the things that you don't want to do and then reduce friction that is associated with the things that you actually want to do. For instance, if you have the goal of saving, then you might as well increase the friction that actually has to do with you spending and then reduce friction associated with saving. And that what you can actually do is to set automatic savings deductions that sets aside a portion of your income every single month before you even have the chance to spend. And what you can do is to delay purchases, in this case, thereby increasing friction associated with your expenses, which also ensures that you have enough left at the end of the month to save and then more importantly, to invest. This brings us to the fifth and the last stage of goal setting, and that is to reward yourself. And that is one of the key reasons why people fail when it comes to goal setting. What you need to do is to attach a condition or something to the goal. And so ask yourself the simple question: what is the thing that I've actually been craving over the years? Or what is that one thing that would bring me the most joy? And then attach that thing to the goal setting. That would also go on to ensure that you actually find the right motivation, that is extrinsic motivation in this case, to actually steer yourself towards the pursuit and the subsequent attainment of your goals. And so if you found value with this video, kindly smash the like button, and thank you for spending time with us. See you in the next one.